an Unspoiled Network podcast.
This is Unscrupled, covering Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season fucking 7, Episodes 3 and 4. Same time, same place, and help. In these episodes, Willow is invisible, and Azura Sky dies like she does in every role. I will see her give a curtain call someday. Someday. Welcome to Unscrupled. Well, howdy there, bitches.
Hey there, Money. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. So how did you feel about these episodes?
So, same time, same place. Stop trying to kill the net.
It's a mosquito, and it's going to eat me.
Okay. Same time, same place. This is quite possibly one of my least favorite episodes. In fact, this was only the second time I've seen it because I hate it that much.
Okay.
And Help was... Yeah, it's an episode of Buffy. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Mm-hmm. I have respect for it. Stuff happens.
Okay.
But yeah, the same time, same place with that awful skin-eating monster. I'm so angry about it.
Okay, so let's cover the angry skin-eating monster.
Well, so...
Did you feel it was queer-coded?
Just the parts with Anya asking Willow if their magic was going to get all sexy.
No, I mean the demon itself.
Oh.
Because, it opens with that kind of raspy, and then, there's nails. How are you, little boy? And, yeah, I felt kind of uncomfortable there, so...
I didn't feel like it was queer-coded. Mm-hmm. I felt like it was gross.
Okay.
Like they were really going for the gross this time.
Yeah.
And that's not a normal Buffy thing. Normally we don't even have bodies after they slay something. It just kind of melts away because that's the level of...
yeah, there's no demon body removal in this.
Right. Yeah, it's just that was... Even when we have legit massacres, we don't get the gross factor.
Okay.
But this, they were really going for it. Hell, Willow actually skinned a guy in front of us, and they did it in such a way that you weren't, nauseous afterward. This, I had to look away, and I'm pretty tough.
Okay. You thought it was too gruesome?
I thought it was too gruesome, and I thought the actual plot of the episode was all an elaborate scenario to avoid having a conversation.
Okay. I think that's a lot of Buffy's runtime. This is another one of those episodes that could have worked without the demon.
Yeah. I feel like if Willow had just been invisible, mm-hmm. or on,
you could have had really cute shenanigans with just them not being able to see each other.
Yeah, I mean, and that would have been silly and fun. But I get that they're trying to make some kind of super heavy-handed metaphor about Willow and her feelings and addiction and coming back from rehab and stuff. But instead, all I got was, I've seen this from you guys before.
Yeah.
This is the third time they've done this plot. Mm-hmm. And I get it, Joss. You have some anxiety around people not seeing you. But get over it. I'm tired. But yeah, I just, that first one, man, I don't like it. But let's talk about it for a while.
Okay, so the plot is that our three Scoobies that are left, which is Xander. Oh, okay. How is Xander still around?
Yeah.
So, in the equilibrium of this show, we have gained 3 and we have lost 3. And Tara never qualified, and that pisses me off. So.
Okay.
But somehow Xander's still here.
And we have Dawn, and we have Buffy.
Yeah. We have Xander and Dawn and Buffy, and they're waiting for Willow at the airport, and we see the scene where people are getting off the plane, and Willow doesn't get off. And then we see the same scene again, and this time Willow gets off the plane, and there's no Xander or Willow or Buffy. So you had a question about all this that I think we should address head on.
Yeah.
So you didn't understand why they couldn't see each other.
Yeah, at the end of the episode, I was so grossed out that I completely tuned out and looked at my phone.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't, I was going to yak. It was gross. Yeah, and I don't get, so for me, it doesn't seem like they're invisible to each other because they're often occupying the exact same physical space.
Yeah.
It feels more like they're 1 degree of dimension off and just... They're just off enough that they can't interact with each other, but Anya can interact with everybody. They cannot interact with everyone else. This is such a weird scenario, and they didn't even bother to explain it well.
My interpretation is she said she did it because she wasn't ready for them to see her, and I interpret that to mean that her magic is leaking. So, they leaned so hard into the magic is addiction and Willow can't be trusted with it because she's too powerful, so she needs to go cold turkey. But for some reason, they've decided to let her do just a little bit of magic. Only when she really, really has to, you know? Which is like 3 times in this episode.
Yeah, so I wasn't getting they're only going to let her do a little bit of magic. I feel like what they're trying to suggest is that they set her up with some coping mechanisms so that she can do low-grade magic.
Okay.
Like, because there's, like, levels of stuff.
So she's no longer the BFG. She's now...
She has BFG potential.
Yeah.
But if you're only supposed to do, like, spells grade 3 and below, then you're not tapping into the scary side. It's like getting off heroin, but keeping your pot addiction.
Sure. Although, if you're going to, like, heroin, I'm trying to think, low-grade opioid, but we don't really have any of those, do we?
Codeine counts, but... Pretty much once you're on opiates, you can't ever...
Remember the aloe vera gel with codeine in it? God, I miss that.
I don't remember that.
They sell it in Florida, and it's amazing. So you put it on your sunburn, and it has a numbing agent in it. So,
that's sweet.
Yeah. And it's not a high enough dose, so if you drink it, you're not going to get shit. So
yeah, so it's like safe.
But it's topically applied heroin for your sunburn.
Well,
which is the best thing ever.
I have had sunburns that warranted that, let me tell you. I have 2 natural states, pasty and lobster, and I have gone for it.
You see that picture online? It's like, look, it's an Irish girl sunbathing, and there's a woman just sitting on her towel and sitting up and taking a drink, and you're like, this is nothing special. But then you realize it's not talking about her, it's talking about the woman next to her that you can't see because she's the same color as the sand.
Yep. Yeah. I fade away next to a white wall. It's just how it is, guys.
Yeah. So, sorry, guys, there's some background noise as our colleagues leave for the day. Bye, Jessica. She can't hear me.
Nope.
Yep, we need a red light for this room. They pass each other and don't see each other, and Willow goes home, and the others go about their merry way because they're afraid that Willow has decided to escape and go evil again.
Which is fair.
Yeah, it's not
That's totally fair.
They haven't been seeing Willow sitting there acting mopey and like, what if people don't like me anymore?
Yeah.
So I think a text from Giles might have, or an email might have cleared that up. That like, yeah, her biggest concern right now is being welcomed back in. Yeah,
but okay, so when you're picking someone up from rehab and they don't show up, there's really only one answer to that.
They're out getting high?
Yeah. They're out getting their mojo on because, I mean, there's really nowhere else to go after rehab unless you're going to a family and a stable environment or something. There's home and there's drugs, and that's what you got. At least in what I've seen. Of course, I did work at a rehab facility for a couple of years, so just saying. Anyway, but I was like I was office worker. I didn't like do therapy or anything, so I could be wildly wrong. But I feel like in this scenario, there's kind of only two choices. It's not like she would run away from them and then become a potato farmer.
She would definitely be growing herbs for magic.
Well, yeah, but the point is she'd be doing magic and big magic that her support system probably wouldn't let her do, and that would be, part of the whole deal. But that's not what happened. But it's totally reasonable for the Scooby Gang to suspect that's what happened.
Yeah. We also get the demon who accosts a young graffiti artist.
Like you do. Crime doesn't pay, guys. Except it totally does.
Well, this is low, like, be gay, do crimes.
Be gay, do crime. Yeah. But when we talk about that, we're talking about, like, resist fascism crime, not, like, rob a bank crime.
I think a lot of that also comes from one of the games I played called Night in the Woods, where your best friend from your hometown, you go back to your hometown, he says, let's do crimes. And the crime he wants to do is breaking into an abandoned supermarket and stealing the giant robotic mascot head and wiring it up in the forest. So,
see, that's crime I can get behind.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We would do that.
And then the two of you have a knife fight, which is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't, like, if we do that, we're going to skip the knife fight part.
Right.
Just saying.
It was really awkward, guys. Like, I know some of you are gamers, especially you, Austin. I know you're listening. Night in the Woods is a great story. It is a terrible game. Like, it is not fun to play. It is really tedious. It made me cry several times, but it was not fun to play. Anyway,
so back to Buffy.
Yeah, be gay, do crimes. This guy is not gay. He is doing crimes, and he is punished. Are we supposed to not care about this kid because he's doing graffiti and clearly he's not a good person? Because I like graffiti.
Yeah, graffiti is an interesting art form, and it is uniquely street, and it's a form of muralism, honestly. And some of it's really beautiful. Yes, some of it is gutter trash and an eyesore. Not going to fight anyone on that.
Yeah.
But some graffiti is honestly breathtaking.
Yeah.
And we should appreciate it more. But, this guy was just doing kind of middle-of-the-road graffiti. It wasn't gutter trash, but it definitely
wasn't just writing his name either, though. He was actually trying to do art.
Not only that, but it's on the side of a movable object. I mean, it's not even going to be there forever. It's like a limited showing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he gets tortured to death has skin being eaten in strips while he's alive. That's fucking awful. And yeah, the fact that nobody cares about that is like, oh my, there's not even one that poor guy. That fucking sucks for him.
Yeah, no one says that. So in the morning, Willow goes to the construction yard trying to run into Xander. She does not do this. She does not run into Xander. And then we get a smash cut to Buffy and Xander at the same construction yard where there's a man there who has been skinned.
At the same time. Like, everything they're always together. They're just never together. And it's so frustrating because I want them to hug and have an awkward moment and have a really awkward conversation where Willow sits down and tells them about rehab and tells them how she's doing and talks about the different coping mechanisms she's doing and really lets them into the journey that she's on and lets us in as well. But we don't get any of that because it's all avoidy. And I get why it's avoidy because apparently dealing with reconciliation and emotions is hard, and it's hard to write that in a believable and good way.
Yeah.
But try, guys. Just go for it, because we never did get the conversation. It's like, oh, thank God we're out of danger. Everything's back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck your normal.
Yeah.
We need to, if you're going to bring addiction into this show, we're going to fucking deal with addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. And also gross.
I have a very different opinion in that, like, I liked the concept of them not seeing each other, and I liked the concept of them, like, being unable to connect and seeing the world in different ways, but I don't like that there's a disgusting demon here, because it detracts from that, because what I want to see is what the world looks like when they can't see each other, and instead I'm looking at this fucking demon, and that's where everyone's attention is.
Yeah.
So I would love to, like, have seen conversations with Anyanka, like, with Xander and Willow, or Xander and Buffy, and then with Willow. I would love to have seen, I don't know, like, what Buffy's day looks like at the school when Willow's trying to find her. And, like, maybe Willow runs into the principal and she says, I'm looking for Buffy. And D.B. Woodhouse comes in and says, Buffy, one of your friends is waiting in the lobby. Mm-hmm. And, like, some shenanigans like that. Buffy is good at that.
Yes.
But instead we're spending time on this gruesome bullshit.
Yeah. And that's, honestly, I think that is the key to this episode. There was no humor. Mm-hmm. There was no humor in this entire.
Yeah.
And Buffy, like, we come for the humor. Honestly, that's the thing that holds the show together. And this episode had very little. Mm-hmm. The only chuckles I got out of it was from Dawn being right. Honestly.
Okay. I want to talk a little about the magic shop.
Okay.
Because this show is kind of... I've been thinking about where any particular show's home base is. Where is its comfort zone? Where is its safe space? Mm-hmm. And for the first 3 years, it was the library at Sunnyvale High School. Mm-hmm. Sunnyvale or Sunnydale?
Sunnydale.
Sunnydale is the fake one. Sunnyvale is the real one, where Facebook is almost
right. Got it. Good job.
Yeah. So I actually, like, one of our marketing gigs was going to be, I was going to have Sunnydale PSAs, and just, like, every episode I was going to tweet out, like, there's no avoid the high school today. We're doing fireworks. Yeah. But I made the Twitter account, and I realized, I did Sunnyvale.
Oh, shit. No.
And then I'm like, well, I don't want to go through all this again, so I gave up on it. Yeah.
That would have been cool, but also I haven't got bandwidth for more work involved with this podcast.
Neither do I, but it wasn't going to be on you anyway. It was going to be on me. I was just going to do one tweet after every episode.
Oh, okay.
But and then I was like, when I was sitting down to make it again, I was like, I have to worry about notifications. People are going to be, like, saying things who don't know what.
Yeah, it really is a much bigger deal.
Yeah, like, and even if I ignore it, like, I have to make sure that I never, ever, ever look at it, because there'll be spoilers. So, yeah. So I would love to have is there, like, if we discover a new show, like, I've seen a lot of people who do fake accounts for show characters. Mm-hmm. So if we ever discover a new show, like a brand new show, one that hasn't been on, and we watch the first episode as it airs and we like it, maybe that could be our publicity stunt,
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but we'd have to, like, commit to not binging, and that's so hard in this day and age.
Yeah, and we only ever watch bingeable stuff.
Well, that's what they make now. It's, like, gone from episodic format to long form, and frankly, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too.
Yeah.
So, where was I?
You like this episode.
I like this episode. Seeing the magic box gone, because that was their safe space after. Mm-hmm. Like, they tried making it the college and it just didn't work.
Because colleges are so generic.
Yeah. And it's just, this isn't Felicity. This isn't Alias,
Yeah.
There's just, like,
Even in Alias, they had they made her her desk the safe space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was very weird to see that the magic box is no longer there.
Well, the building's still standing.
The building's still standing, but they
wrecked.
can't go inside, and there's very much a sense of loss on Anyanka's part.
Yeah. Anya's very much like, okay, this is ruined now. I can't recover it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness she's the vengeance demon.
It's Willow's fault.
It is completely 100% Willow's fault, and Willow owns up to it. I really liked Willow in that. She didn't try and make excuses. She's like, nah, say all the things to me. She was very careful not to say, do all the things to me. Mm-hmm. She was very careful to say, no, go ahead, unload all your vitriol. I deserve it. I did the thing. Mm-hmm. And I did enjoy when Anya's like, well, now it's no fun. And was just a bro after that.
Yeah. I have complicated feelings about Anya. I don't feel staying in Sunnydale is a good move. Yeah,
she has the entire world at her feet.
There's so many. She could work for Wolfram and Hart.
I don't think she's stable enough for them.
I feel like I would love Lila to make a wish.
Oh.
See? You see what I'm talking about?
Oh, no, I'm there.
Missed potential with this show.
But they would have to take Anya to a much darker place if
they need to take Anya to a darker place, because Anya comes from a dark place and they can't, they shouldn't be pussyfooting around.
Well, that was part of what they talked about in this episode, that Anya was kind of struggling because the vengeance just didn't feel right anymore. She has too much compassion for humanity to enjoy hurting people now, because she kind of sees both sides of equations and shit. And while I totally think there are some people who fucked up bad enough in their relationships that they deserve to be punished, the kind of punishment she metes out is...
I wish they would show this and not tell it.
Yeah.
Because we just had an episode where she summoned a worm.
Yeah.
And she didn't seem to feel that bad about it, and I was kind of on her side. This is my job.
Yeah.
I am a human. I am not a human. I was briefly, but that part of my life is over. I don't play by your fucking rules.
Yeah, your flimsy morals no longer apply to me.
Exactly.
And honestly, so yes, she's punishing people who fucked up in relationships. I want to see her punish the real fuck-ups in their relationships. Oh, you're a woman beater? Yeah, that gets turned into worms.
I feel like that could be a really good niche for her.
Yeah, because we know personally some folks that deserve to have their partners turned into worms.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff they've been talking about, I get it, it's Buffy and they're not trying to be gritty, but you just ripped skin off of Willow in strips and ate it in front of us while lapping up her blood. Talk about a child beater.
Yeah, this is really gross.
Yeah.
So, you had an attempted rape last season.
Yeah.
By our whoopee.
Yeah.
Spike.
Fucking Spike.
You can go here.
Oh, we have reached a point where I feel like we can address the whoopification of Spike.
Okay.
All this time I've been saying this phrase and you've been like, what the hell does that mean?
I know what whoopification means. I've been on TV tropes. I've lost many productive hours at work that I have been paid for on that website.
Yes, but you were like, how are they going to take this badass guy and make him a whoopee? And for those who don't know, a whoopee is a safety blanket. It's safe and soft and you want to carry it around. And the whoopification of a villain means that you turn someone who's badass into someone who's cuddly and safe. And that's kind of what they did to Spike. First they took away his ability to hurt humans and, whatever, and now they've given him a soul. And with that soul comes insanity, but also a personality change. You notice when he's being crazy guy and talking to everyone, his accent is completely different.
I did notice that, but it's also I can't tell if there's a personality change because he's deep in insanity right now. So I don't
well,
that changes the filters and your calculations of what is appropriate to say at any given moment.
the insanity is a big part of his personality change, but also with his posh accent coming back, you're kind of seeing that the Cockney accent he was kind of putting on was the demon.
Okay.
And now that the demon has to compete with a human soul, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on with Spike.
Okay.
Inside.
I can't say that I care.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't, because he got woobified.
Yeah. It's not a good look, Joss. Like, I know that he's a favorite, but you can have a favorite that is a bad guy.
He wanted to make it okay for girls to like him, and it's like, no, keep him bad, and then explore why guys like that are bad. And why
I still like Cersei.
Yeah.
Somebody kink-shamed her, and 7 years later she was queen.
Yeah. Well, when your kink is twincest. But yeah, she,
Don't kink-shame monarchs, guys. It's not going to go well.
Well, she also blew all of those haters up.
Yeah. And I do not sympathize with Cersei. I do not want her good things for Cersei. But I like her as a character. I don't need her to be a good person. I don't need her to be worthy of survival at the end of the story to enjoy her time on screen. So. Yeah. And before any of you assholes at me, this is only show Cersei.
Okay, yeah. Not book Cersei.
Book Cersei's useless.
Very different. I understand why Joss did it. I just don't feel like it works exactly.
I don't think it ever really has. Spike's history is something that the show is not prepared to deal with. The same way it's not prepared to deal with Anya. It's throwing these conscience crises at her so that she can stay in the good side of the morality. And I'm like, fuck it. I'll accept your morality, but let us have some recurring people on the evil side. We like Lila, you know?
Yes. I fucking love Lila.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love Lila. She's such a good villain. Mm-hmm. And she does it really well in that, well, whoever came up with Lila did it really well in that she has moral ambiguity enough that she can do good things once in a while. And you don't think she's not doing it simply for the sake of good. That might be a byproduct of it, but she's doing it out of self-interest. And everyone accepts that. And it's consistent.
And I like that she is constantly fighting sexism.
Yes.
In her workplace. And we are rooting for her. And it's very good about, the perpetrators of the sexism, like her boss, Bernard, who I forget his actual name.
Whatever.
And also Gavin. Because Gavin is very, very cute and amicable. And he's very good at, working his way into your good graces. Mm-hmm. Even though he's treating the women like shit. And that's exactly how sexist assholes in the workplace behave.
I can name 3 guys in this office off the top
exactly. Of my head. This is why I stan Lila. You can do this with Anya, and you can even do it with Spike, but this show just doesn't have the balls to do it. You know?
Yeah.
So,
wow, Angel has more balls.
Yep.
Wow. Never thought I'd say that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So anyway, back to Buffy.
Yeah.
There's a couple things in this episode that I thought were noteworthy.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that Dawn has gotten good at research.
Okay.
I liked that she used a computer and a demon database in order to come to the conclusion, and she was confident in her answer. I feel like she's got, Watcher Scouts all wrapped up. She's really learning to be a part of the team that helps out, and that's nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
In a non-combat role, because we've seen she just got slashed by some paralyzing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Keep her out of combat, guys. She's not a fucking slayer.
No.
And she's 100 pounds soaking wet.
Mm-hmm. She's less than that. She's tiny.
She's tall. She's taller than Buffy already.
She's so skinny.
Yes, they all are. It's LA.
Okay. Yeah. There is a way they could have made this more interesting. You know how there's a character who kind of needs a home and nothing? Why not bring Wesley back?
Wesley's too gritty for this show now. Man, he'd be bored.
We need someone who knows how to research. So I like that Dawn is learning, but I don't know. But then again, like this is the show where Buffy is the guidance. So maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah, they're trying to get Buffy to grow into her adulting, and she's getting there, honestly. Yeah.
So there's only one thing I really want to say about the scene in the cave.
Yeah.
And that is, guys, I know that you're not going to kill Willow. So I know that I'm just watching this torture porn for the sake of the torture porn.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it so nauseating.
Yeah, and it's like, I wasn't worried for her, I was just grossed out.
Yeah, and Anya saying, hey, wouldn't it be funny if you guys were, like, being silly and playing with your paralyzed sister while Willow was being tortured to death? And it's like, wow, that's a bit on the nose. Mm-hmm. The fuck? I don't feel like I need that to be explained to me.
Yeah. So that's all. Let's move on from this episode.
Yeah,
so this next episode is a thing that happened.
Yeah. It's kind of I like that they take it a step back to good old fashioned silly Buffy, where she's trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
They're also trying to give us some footing as far as what the world looks like. So our last couple of episodes was about, here are all the adjustments we've gone through. This one is about, this one that we just talked about was about Willow's return. Now we're at a sense of normalcy, and this is what it looks like. This is Buffy being treated like shit by her male students and failing to get through to her female ones.
A typical first day at work.
Yeah. We're back in the school. So that home base thing I was talking about earlier, it's clear that it's going to be the school now, because clearly they spent a lot of money on making those new sets.
Okay, so it all came back to the library again. Did you notice the evil, like, the evil ritual thing they were trying to do was totes in the library?
Yeah.
But the library is no longer over the Hellmouth, so I'm wondering, why'd they choose that? Is it just like the biggest open space that people don't go in?
Yeah.
Can't do it in the gym because basketball practice? What?
They haven't built the gym yet.
Oh shit, you're right. Xander's working on it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. And also the gym has lots of echoes.
I feel like that would add to the ritual.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm more worried about, like, there's fucking bleachers, and, like, if you drop your ritual item and you have to go crawl under the bleachers with all the dead roaches and cigarette butts.
Okay, so, one, it's a new school. They don't have as many dead roaches yet.
Oh, I'm talking marijuana roaches.
Marijuana roaches.
There's already a lot of them there. Trust me.
Well, the thing is, you don't smoke pot inside the gym. You do it behind the gym.
Amateur.
Sorry, I was a good kid in high school. It all went to shit in the Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did.
So the library is no longer on the Hellmouth.
Right.
What is?
Principal Wood's office.
Oh.
We went over that in the first episode.
Yeah, but that was like a month ago.
Yeah, but Xander was looking at blueprints, and yeah, he said that the Hellmouth is right over Principal Wood's office.
This is a multi-story operation now. This is a multi-story building, so what's above?
Well, okay, so the old high school was, I don't know that this high school is, because high schools in California aren't.
I've never been in a high school in California.
I've been in many.
I'm sorry.
It was terrible.
All high schools are terrible.
Yeah, they're all the worst.
Do they have the painted cinder blocks for walls here?
Uh-huh.
So that's
and the
trapezoid pizza?
Trapezoid pizza. I didn't eat school food because it was unfucking realistic.
Yeah.
It was so bad. But yeah, so everything was painted cinder blocks, and they're roasted in summer and frozen in the winter, and half the windows don't close, and it feels like a prison because there's literally fences and gates and walls around all the time that they lock with chains while school is in session. God forbid there's a fire, but there can't be because nothing can burn because it's all fucking cinder blocks.
God, they watched Lean on Me too many fucking times.
It was like a prison, and I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I mean, I could still leave school. We all knew the ways to get out if you had to. We're kids. Like, if you're relying on chain link to keep your kids in school, you've got a big fucking problem, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
it's what you're describing is very similar to every high school I've ever been into.
Yeah.
So.
But it's all one level, and the buildings are separate. Like, when you leave your classroom, you go outside. There's none of this hallway shit that they have.
Do you have portables?
Portables? Oh, yeah, the temporary classrooms that end up there for like 30 years.
Yeah.
But they have air conditioning.
Yeah.
Because they have to, because they're made of aluminum, and it's a microwave in there.
Yeah. I last time I was in San Antonio, I drove by my own middle school, and I remember taking one class in a portable. It's like, they're all around the school now. It is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's all this pressure to just keep shoving more kids into the school, shoving them. And anyway, yeah.
Do you know what I learned about California from one of our colleagues? I don't know how Texas has this law and California does not.
Yeah.
But in Texas, the school is legally bound to have a school bus route that accommodates every single student in that school. And you, like, even if you opt out of it, the school bus is still going to drive by your house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Weird.
So, at any given day, you can take the school bus.
Huh. Yeah, we didn't have that. Like, I rode to school with my cousins and my neighbors and my friends in my neighborhood who were all going to the same school. At my first high school, I just walked. I mean, it was it was about a mile at my first high school, so that wasn't a big deal. But my second high school was a distance. Yeah. And yeah, we just carpooled. I knew in the morning, Grandpa would drive me and Annie and Mary. And in the afternoon, my cousin Sandy would come and pick up me and Brian and Annie and Mary. And we'd all go to school, and it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
But a bus would have kept Grandpa at home.
Because I was talking to that colleague of ours, and I'm like, why don't you just let him take the bus? And she's like, well, the bus doesn't come to our place. And my brain just broke. And I'm like, the bus doesn't come?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I took the bus in middle school. And yeah, there was a bunch of kids in my neighborhood that went to that middle school. So, I mean, it picked up a bunch of us. But yeah, it came to the corner. Not like to my door or anything, but it came to the corner. Yeah. Yeah. And it was, one of the worst continuous experiences of my life. Buses are the worst.
Oh, yeah. Like, let's put the kids all together every day.
And make them bored.
Yeah.
So that they torture each other.
Yep.
Particularly that one kid.
So, yeah, let's get out of this particular hole.
Okay. Back to Buffy.
Yeah. So, did you notice that the only students that are worth, like, paying attention to are the black kid and the girls?
Yes.
Like, because white men are terrible?
Yes. All of the white dudes were either bored and trying to get out of class or trying to hit on Buffy. Yeah. Which... yeah, the one kid who said he might be gay to, like, try and... Oh, my God. I want to headbutt him.
I want to headbutt the fucking writer. Yes. Like, why do you do the thing?
Even kids aren't that dumb.
Hey, white people, if you're going to do the thing, consider not.
But have you ever considered not?
Yes. It's one of those sayings, like shutting up is free. So.
Wow. Yeah.
Where the fuck were we? I don't really want to discuss very much about this episode because
not a lot happened.
Yeah, it's like what are we gonna do? We're gonna talk about this girl and she has a She has a vision of herself dying,
and her visions tend to come true as we discover when Buffy ruins her top.
The only thing that I really felt that this episode added to the formula was the shitty father who is not the problem.
Yeah.
That is a new thing for Buffy.
Yeah.
As a show.
Yeah. Sometimes the obvious issue is not it.
Yeah.
And yeah. I liked that they made him a drunk, but like showed that he's made a solid effort to not be a drunk when his girl was around.
Right.
That was kind of sweet.
So.
If unrealistic.
Yeah. I mean, like, so drunks do have families and do like.
Yeah. You could pull it together for a weekend sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, there are alcoholics I've seen who can stay sober for a few hours to go to their kid's birthday party, you know?
Yeah. And then, Taiwan.
Sorry, guys. I've had a cough for the last 3 weeks. It's really gross. This is not going to be the best sounding episode ever. And I probably still sound really raspy, don't I?
A little bit, yeah.
So this is Azura's guy. I forget what her... Is it Cassie? Cassidy? Cassie. She's somehow aged down from the 20-something crack whore she was in 28 Days to a high school student.
She can pass for whatever age she wants to. She's one of those people.
Yeah. She says she's going to die on Friday, so...
She's kind of sweet about it.
Yeah, she sounds like she's accepted it.
This happened before we had Luna Lovegood in the world, and she just fills me with all these Luna vibes, and it just gives me a warm squishy.
She's not weird enough for Luna.
No, she's not weird enough, but if you take what she's saying as untrue, then yeah, she's totally weird enough. But once you realize that she actually can see the future and this stuff does keep happening, then...
I just get Manic Gothy Dream Girl.
Oh, she is Manic Gothy Dream Girl.
So...
But I just want to put her someplace safe, which is the feeling I'm supposed to have.
The plan
good job, guys.
The plan here is for Dawn to befriend her. And sort of figure out what she thinks is going to cost her life.
Well, yeah, because, some kid says, oh yeah, I'm going to be dead on Saturday. Then that's a warning sign. And Buffy actually is doing a really good job as counselor by, taking an interest, telling authorities, hey, I think this person might kill themselves, getting other people involved to try and figure out what's going on with this person and how can we help.
I did not like that so far this season we have had 2 characters, only one of which we're sure will be recurring, who are black. And he's totally useless.
What, Principal Wood?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's like, you can't do anything about it. And she's like, well...
Bet me.
Then why are you paying me?
Yeah. Why even bother learning about these problems if I could just get to be helpless afterward?
Exactly.
That's a bum gig.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, the suspects are in order. Her not prom date.
Yep.
Who turns out to be shitty in a generic white cis male shitty way.
Yeah, he's just a nice guy.
We didn't really have the vocabulary to describe that concept yet, but I'm not getting that from him. I'm getting there's a weird sort of arrogance that I hate, but I also can't be that mad at when he's like, I want to fuck this girl. She doesn't want to fuck me. Fine, I'll go fuck another girl.
You're right. He's not a nice guy.
Exactly.
He's just like...
He's not trying
DGF.
to worm. Yeah, he's not trying to worm his way. He's not trying to gaslight her. He's like,
okay.
He gave it a shot.
Fair.
It doesn't work. He's still slimy, but he's moving on. So yeah, he will make some other woman incredibly unhappy for all of 14 seconds.
I don't know. How many thrusts is that? Like 7? 20?
If it's later on, I'd say 7.
Okay.
But earlier, it's 3 or 4.
Oh, wow.
You gotta build up to, the jackhammer part.
Huh. I would think that, never mind, I don't want to talk about this. Okay, so, yeah.
I mean, unless I've been doing it wrong for 20-odd years. But
I have very little experience with
the dick?
With the dick.
It's
with
just
a big D.
For me, it's just about, like, this is a sensitive area you're going into. You might want to start off slow.
Yo, yeah, please start off slow.
Oh, so, yeah.
But, yeah, so, yeah, we've got friend dude who turns out not to be evil. He's just a generic dude. We've got drunk dad who turns out not to be evil. He's a alcoholic who's just trying to do his best and wants to see his daughter more.
Mm-hmm.
Though I do understand why her mom won't let him have more visitation rights. It's hard to know what's the right amount to let someone be around an addict,
Mm-hmm.
especially a young girl like that. And then who was our third suspect? Did we have a third suspect?
I think it was just she gets kidnapped after the second. Like, she gets kidnapped.
Yeah, she gets kidnapped by rando dudes.
Yeah.
And she tells, oh, it was so sad. She tells her, don't think that any of this is your fault.
Yeah.
And yeah, Don gets distracted by dude being an asshole because that's what his job was. And then she turns around and she's gone.
Yeah. So in the library, this is our first shot of the new library, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not as special as the old library was. It's pretty normal. Furniture made out of metal.
Yeah. They have the new waist high bookshelves.
Yeah, I don't like those. I want a bookshelf to tower over me. I want to feel surrounded by knowledge.
I would like to reach. That's my big concern. Yeah. So they're trying to summon a demon with a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And they manage to summon a demon without a sacrifice. Buffy predictably beats everyone up.
Good on her.
Saves Cassie from the sacrifice. Cassie nearly gets impaled in the head with an arrow on the way out. And Buffy saves her by catching the arrow, that's kind of a cool move, but you've done that twice in as many episodes, and I'm including Angel here.
Well, okay, catching arrows is like a trope at the time. Like, at the same time as this is happening, Xena is happening, and Xena catches arrows all the fucking time.
I know, and the thing about tropes is you need to not overuse them.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, this is me saying to Adele, after 21,
mm-hmm.
no more breakup songs. So I am saying to Buffy, no more catching arrows.
Okay. It's like your rule that you can only have one divorce album.
Or breakup album.
Yeah,
so,
that's fair.
Or else you turn into Alanis.
Alanis only had one breakup album. Everything after that has been about, like, going to India and finding spiritual fulfillment.
Oh, God. She has a live, laugh, love poster, doesn't she?
Oh, not anymore. She backtracked off of that and, like, found consumerism again.
Okay.
And she has other breakup songs, but they're not Jagged Little Pill.
The ones I remember they're not breakup albums, but they're remembrances of old.
Oh yeah, she's definitely nostalgia porn all the way.
But let's be real. Jagged Little Pill made such a splash that even if she never, she's still the breakup artist.
Oh yeah, like it was such a cultural phenomenon that it's always going to be the first thing you think of when you think of Alanis Morissette. I mean, no kidding. But that's what happens with Brilliance. And her other stuff is just, okay, it's not just as good because nothing ever will be, but it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, back to Buffy. I want to backtrack just a little bit and talk about that moment when Buffy sets the easily combustible demon on fire. How does that work? I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And the entitled white boy runs over to him and is like, "You can't be dead, where's my fucking riches?" And the demon rises back up from the dead to bite him and then dies again. That's what I want to see from my Buffy, man.
Yeah, that was good.
And her walking away is like, "Nope, I'm busy. My office hours are 10 to 4.
So, I kind of feel like Buffy should have let the demon kill all these assholes.
But what if the demon didn't kill all the assholes? What if the demon...
I feel like if you've learned anything from Warren, it's don't leave the asshole standing.
That's fair. Maybe he'll bleed out on the library floor.
Okay.
That's a lawsuit, though.
Yeah.
We just got this floor.
Yep. Just get those interchangeable carpet squares. You just pull them out.
Seriously.
That'd
be pretty
all of Buffy's windows are fixed, too. I'm telling you, we should move to Sunnydale and open a glass cutting business.
We would make so much money.
We'd just be rolling in business.
But we'd also be rolling in demons.
We would also be living in fucking Sunnydale.
I don't want to live in Sunnydale.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, yeah, that's like San Bernardino times 2.
Yeah, that's Rancho Cucamonga.
Ugh.
Yeah.
All right.
So those are our episodes, guys. It's good to be back. Like, I'm like a little weirded out that we only have 9 more Buffy episodes to actually like. There's only 9 more hours of talking about Buffy in my life.
Yeah, and then after that it'll be Angel, and we're gonna zoom through that last season.
Yeah.
It's gonna it's really getting close. We've got senioritis, you guys.
Yeah, and guys, I know we haven't been consistent lately, but I mean, shit has blown up in our lives, and
I know we say that a lot, but it's kind of constant, and I know you know what we're talking about. Yeah. Like, all y'all have the same shit blown up in your lives, too.
And, like, it's a lot of it is my fault, but that's also because, let's be real here, I'm shouldering most of the weight of...
yeah.
Like,
no, you're definitely the one who works in this relationship. I'm just, like... the fly-by-night person who deigns to come and talk on your podcast sometimes.
Hey, here's another counter for you. You only have to get pictures 8 more times. Because on the last one, I can get them myself.
Oh my gosh, that'll be awesome!
Yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward to that day where, like, I'm going to Google Buffy. Because I haven't been able to do that.
In years.
Right. I can't even look up a Buffy St. Marie song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
No.
Wow.
So.
That's rough. Yeah, we're almost there. It's okay. There's very little to spoil now.
Okay. That doesn't mean we don't want new reviews, guys. It's been a hot minute. Get your shit together.
Totally give us reviews.
All right. So we are going to go home because this one needs to buy some more vape juice. And I need to pee. So, yeah.
It's true. You do need to pee, and I do need vape juice, and also to go home and eat food.
Yeah, let's do this. All right, y'all. Bye!
Bye!
That was an Unspoiled Network podcast.